What's good, y'all? It's Lil Mac with the interview today. And you can see we're in a whole different scenery with my guy, Devin Holmes. Long time friend, you feel me? Business partner, ex-teammate, high school teammate. Overall solid dude. We about to talk about some real estate today. We're in Miami. As you can see, we got the pool vibes going. We got the B&B. Nice little vibe. Did the boat. We did all the content. So by the time y'all seen this, y'all done seen the pictures. Y'all done ate that up. Y'all done ate this fit up. Shout out Venture Supply. One of the hardest ATL brands out though. But yeah, man, how's it going?
Pleasure to meet you, man. Been a minute, so.
Been a while, bro.
Yes.
Last time I seen you, you was playing basketball in Michigan. Now I saw you in Atlanta, but now you're in Miami, and this is where you reside. So how is it just, traveling from Detroit to the A to Miami now?
So it's been for sure chaotic. I think all this happened in like less than 2 years. So as you know, playing basketball, graduated from Alvin College, did there. So I got me a job down in Atlanta. I was there for about a year where we were there together, and then had an opportunity down here in Florida where I kind of pounced on and had some networking and resources down here. Where I thought I could further my business and my knowledge just on the real estate side of things. So that's what kind of led me to here, and just kind of putting it all together here, and we're looking to take off.
They said if you in Miami, you can't live here without no real estate. They say you gotta have some kind of property or something.
Property, business, something, because these people ain't working on 9 to 5. So
they're not working on 9 to 5s, as you can see. Everybody's outside out here, man. Everyone. So what's the culture like down here so far? How you loving it?
I love it. The weather, being from Michigan, it's ain't no cold summers, no digging, no snow. It's water, beaches, so we ain't had none of that where we come from. So definitely like that. And then just the vibe, it's just the air is much better out here.
Peaceful. So, you look outside, it's palm trees, you see Rarries, Lambs, Benzes. So how was that transition though? How did you get into real estate just in general? Like I said, I didn't even know you were doing real estate until, hit me up. So it's like, how'd you transfer all the way over? That always been a dream of yours?
Yeah, well, it's always been something in the back of my mind, but I really got to kind of pay it forward to the people that was around me in my life. I have mentors in my life, such as my uncle and different just father figures around my life that kind of mentored me and kind of groomed me to where I found this passion for real estate and owning assets and building equity in certain things. So just me putting it all together, finally coming to age and graduating college, it's my time to actually do it.
Yeah, perfect timing, really. And I think a lot of people have this big question with real estate, like, how do I start? How do I get the money for it? What's the loopholes? What's the best way? So we're gonna kind of build them a story into like how they can start slow and then how they start branching out, making it bigger and start making big time investments. So how did you start just in general? Like, what was the first thing you did?
So I guess our first entry level position in the real estate, we got started off, me and a group of my friends, my business partners as well, part of my Dream Space Realty LLC. We got started just actually working on real estate properties, doing rehab renovations, and add value projects. And then once we got the kind of hang of that, we were like, hey, we can do these things ourselves with our own projects, our own properties. So that's kind of how we got into it. But there's many other ways you can get started. A lot of people, especially starting with no money, wholesaling is a great option where you essentially bring a property that you found and bring a deal to a seller, and then you get paid off commission. So that's a great way for people with no money.
So you would basically, say it's this house down here for $60,000, and I know somebody that's trying to buy a house. I go tell them, it's this house for $65,000, and then I get the $5K.
You get $5,000, $10,000, whatever you feel that the seller is comfortable with, and then you get your commission like a realtor would when they're selling a house.
So you can have you make your own commission for that. And then they just gotta agree to it.
It's all depending on what the seller's
you ever did the wholesaling?
No, I personally haven't, but I do have some investors that potentially down the line that could happen, but no, not me or myself. So.
Okay. So what are you going for? It's like what do you go towards when you doing real estate? Like, what's your niche?
So as of right now, as I told you, we kind of got our niche in like the rehab renovation, just on residential. But now we're currently expanding. We have like a big project coming up actually this month. There will be flung content on our page. Actually this month we have a commercial project. We got a bid on a commercial project there in Tampa, Florida. So we're more so leaning towards like working with the cities, with government contracts, and getting to know the who's in the cities on the council, because there's a huge difference between residential and commercial.
Yeah.
So from the difference from residential to commercial, you have to get everything approved by the city before you can start any work,
Exactly.
building permits, things of that nature, and you got to make sure all your red zone and things are correct. Residential, you can get away with more things, and it's kind of up to the owner of that property. So that's kind of where we're set going to.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people they just think it's just flip the house. You know, I'm gonna buy a house, I'm gonna buy 50, I'm gonna live it. But it's like, talk about the actual hours. You know, putting in the remodeling, the business cards, the paperwork, like so, dealing with these amounts of money too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start with the paperwork, because that's what I advise anybody that's trying to get into real estate or looking at any properties. You don't just want to try, even if you have the money, you don't just want to see a house, buy a house. You want to do your research. You want to do, so they have these cash flow statements and forecasting statements you have for each property. That's like a draw up of a deal.
Accounting.
I
just learned about that in school.
So this is something that you could present toward a bank for a loan, or an investor or a lender, or even just for yourself, just for a time keeping persistent thing. So we kind of use those, leverage those with bank loans, with certain types of investors, and just knowing when to expect a return, and also have different phases of each of the projects. So it helps all of that. So you want to have all of that done first before you initially make any move, because you want to have a plan. A lot of people get into real estate, don't have a plan, and don't have any tenants lined up or anything. So they get caught with their hands filled with the property, and they can't cash flow, and then they end up defaulting on the loans, and it goes back to the city bank. So,
gosh,
it's definitely a lot that goes into it.
Definitely a lot that goes into it. I know it. Like I said, I mentioned before, a lot of people think it's flipping houses, but that real estate world is much larger than just buying cribs. That's a part of it. So, your advice to someone that's trying to necessarily tap in and they want to make some money, what's the quickest way you think to make some money in real estate?
Well,
a lot of times we don't really. Some people might not have a year or 6 months. They might have 3 to 5 months.
Yeah. So I first want to start off by saying, with anything, any business, there's really not no get rich quick scheme. So my advice would just to be to get with somebody that is in the business, that is where you are trying to go, that can maybe point you in the right direction, that has the connections to kind of get you started in the right direction. So for me, in my example, I kind of latched on to a family member of mine that does really well in real estate. So just by me hanging around with him and getting game and knowledge from him, I'm meeting his associates, such as contractors, GCs, city council members, everything that I need, accountants, everything I need to get my team up and running in the real estate. So just kind of, I would say, learning as much as you can, asking as many questions, and they have all these other grants and loans and things that are available for people that need assistance with down payments, anything. So just doing a lot of research and your due diligence would probably be my best advice.
Okay. Starting out, when was that moment where you was just like, okay, there's some money in this. Like, this is all right. Like, this is where I'm gonna start tapping in. I'm gonna start going harder so we can go even larger.
So this would probably have to go back when we was back in Detroit. So this was before I even moved. So me and my team, Dream Space Realty, we were already renovating houses in Detroit. So we got our first real project, full house, like a full renovation, bathroom, living room, upstairs, downstairs, everything. We essentially had the whole job. So there's no other contractors, no other GCs on it, just us. So once we saw the start to finish, you know how some homes look in Detroit, it was kind of like one of those trap houses, kind of low value, and then we kind of demolished it all down, built it back up. And once we saw the results, hey, we can do this, and then we got the pay stub and the check for you, yeah, we can go somewhere. So that would be the moment, I would say.
So y'all went over with the bulldozer yourself, or y'all had to have somebody do that?
Well, we didn't actually demolish the whole, the whole.
Just the inside.
Yep. So we did a little roofing inside.
I just had to ask. I'm like, you driving that bulldozer? That's crazy work.
No, we can do that though. We can get that done. But for that project, we didn't necessarily need that.
How was it getting that first pay stub?
It was good. Just coming where we come from. We come from the city of I would say a hustler, entrepreneur culture. So just having that and having those type of people around me felt good to just kind of pay homage to those that came before me, and just kind of not having that 9 to 5 paycheck to paycheck mindset, and having that more entrepreneurial mindset for sure.
Yeah. So what's the I guess, downs of real estate, like stuff that nobody wants to deal with, or the stuff you hate to deal with, like the wall you run into, you know?
So some things or some downsides to real estate. Again, this goes back to forecasting and planning. So if you haven't done your due diligence on certain projects, or you haven't made your connections, some problems a lot of people have in real estate is general contractors. We don't necessarily have that problem because we do all our work ourselves, so it's more homegrown. So a lot of GCs and contractors will try to mess you over on certain deals and overprice you and materials and things of that nature. So if you don't know the ins and outs of the business and how much things cost, you could get messed over in that regard. And then there's also dealing with tenants as well. So if you have a property, tenants not making their payments, and you're defaulting on your monthly mortgage or whatever you have for that property, that's how things can get kind of sticky in that situation. There's a million other things, but usually I would say most real estate people, from what I've heard in my peers, is just tenants and contractors, because once you have the money, that's essentially all you need to keep the train going. Tenants and contractors.
Once you got the money, that's all you need to keep that train going.
Yeah.
That's a bar, I ain't gonna lie.
For sure.
Nah, so how do you think people should, figure out about that? What research do they do? Like, the YouTube University route, or you think they should take classes or courses to, learn that so they don't take that downfall? Like
I think it's a mix of everything. So for me personally, I kind of took, like I said, you can learn from the lowest and the highest. So I kind of just take it all in and learn from everybody. They have certain programs out there for free. I know for a person who's just getting started, they have this app or website called Operation Hope. It's really good for people, low-income people, and people just trying to get their foot in the game, where they have free consultation on real estate and how to go into the bank and ask for a loan, how to get a mortgage, and how to get contractors and things of that nature. So that's a really good resource. Operation Hope is owned by John Hope Bryant. He's a Black successful entrepreneur, has most single-family residential homes in all of America. So I would highly recommend him. And essentially, just reaching out to colleges. They have courses at colleges as well. I myself
back to school.
Took a finance degree, so coming back from the accounting and finance, I almost had a double major in accounting as well. So kind of more familiar with that on the sales side of things. So I have no problem when it comes to building those forecasts and cash flows. So
definitely.
And family members as well. So.
Definitely. What do you think the most amount of money someone can see from, doing what y'all started at first, remodeling the houses, going from bad to good, and changing the whole thing? Like, what do those rates look like?
Just for rehab renovations?
Real
estate in total?
No, rehab. Like, what are the rates for just people just trying to, they want to, like, okay, I'm going to cruise and I'm going to do like how he did, start off with get a house and we about to remodel the whole thing ourselves, a team. What does that rate look like?
So first off, I would just say it kind of varies by the client and the market. So as you know, a house in Miami, materials cost different here in Miami than they would in Detroit. So if I was just giving a rough ballpark for properties or rehabs we've done in Detroit, or basic $60,000, $70,000 home, and it also depends on how nice they want the renovation to look. So they have higher end materials and lower end materials, but I'll just give a rough estimate, like in the middle. So for a full renovation, just everything done in the household, medium, like not high or not too low, I would say you can roughly get about 40,000, 50,000, like a real just labor, and that's not material. So it's a lot of money in that. But the problem, or that I would say probably the biggest problem with that, is just acquiring those jobs, because a lot of residents and clients feel more comfortable with the big construction companies, people that have history and have rapport in the city and have insurances and things. But we necessarily didn't have that problem, because we had a mentor that was known for doing really well in Detroit and already had clientele and connections. So we were able to branch on those and kind of go from there.
So that's $40,000 profit, or are you saying revenue?
Well, labor, because essentially if you don't own the house and you're working on somebody else's house, it's all profit, because you're not paying for the materials or whatever it takes to actually do the job.
So you're not even going to get the materials?
Well, you would, but it would be on the client's dime. Yeah.
So they're paying you for the materials and your labor in one transaction? Yeah,
or how we do it with most clients, we break it up into phases by each phase. So it's more lenient on the clients, and they have due dates for each payment. So
what happens when they don't meet that due date?
We've never actually had it happen, so but we have contracts written up, operating agreements and everything was signed before we even start any projects or any work. So
Okay, so they gave you all about $40,000. They say we want the kitchen, we want the living room, we want the bathrooms. So after y'all do that, how much do y'all normally be left over with from getting all those materials?
Again, it kind of just varies by how much the materials they want, but essentially for a whole renovation from top down to floor up, depending on the square foot of the house, you can walk away with just full labor costs. But again, you probably won't be doing this job by yourself, so you'll have either a team or subcontractors that you hire for the job, so it'll be divided in that sense, or just any other labor costs or anything that you incurred while operating. So any tools that you had to buy, gas, or paying your employees. But as you know, entrepreneurs and CEOs get paid last, so you always want to pay your overhead and pay your team first. So whatever's left over after that is essentially all yours.
Yeah, you about to invest that anyway.
Yeah.
Remember, I think down to his Akram, I interviewed him, and he does small real estate properties. I think he does like more events and stuff.
Yeah.
But he got like rich off selling clothes, selling do-rags and stuff in an online business.
Mm-hmm.
And he had told me he flips his money 4 times before he really spends it or splurge.
Yeah.
So if he got 25,000, he gotta wait till it touch 100,000, and then he like, all right, now I can do that. And I think that's just a different mindset of things. Like you said, you're not going to get rich in this overnight, not in a month or two. You know, like you're going to need to put some leg work in there and be patient and, you know, flip your money, reinvest it so it can all make sense.
Yeah.
Don't blow the bag yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a trait all successful entrepreneurs have. And no matter what business you're doing, you want to keep high cash retained earnings. So if an opportunity does arise, especially in real estate, so if you see a project or a deal that you really like, you just having the extra cash on hand to buy or jump on a certain deal to make all the more difference. So especially in a competitive market like Miami, Tampa, things of that nature.
You said you got a big project coming up in Tampa, right?
Yeah, Tampa. So we got some more content.
Tampa, y'all better see it. Tap in with the content. Tap in with my guy Devin Holmes in general. Tap in with Dream
Space Realty.
Dream Space Realty.
Yep, and that's just the start. We got an umbrella company. It's going to open the door to many other things.
Yeah.
Some way.
Yeah, so as we wrapping up, how does it feel, though, to be in this position, being from Detroit, and giving them a different inspiration? You know, like, where we from is hoop or
rap
or rap.
Trap.
Or trap.
Yeah.
Hoop, rap, trap, you know, or football, rap, trap. And it's like, even if you don't do any of that, they still just go to plant, or they go to, I'ma just stay at the crib or whatever, you know. But now it's like, dang, somebody I went to school with, somebody I know, someone that, you know, he was hanging out with me. We was doing the same thing. Now he turned his life around and is doing real estate and has a LLC and has different properties in different states. So it's like, how does that feel to be that inspiration for the youth?
No, I think it's all a blessing. Like you said, coming where we come from, we didn't necessarily know there was more things like this. So I would just probably pay it forward to kind of like basketball, because once I kind of started getting out of Detroit and seeing how other people were living, like, and started realizing it's not supposed to be bullet holes and restaurants and cars.
Every party gets shot up. It's not.
So just kind of that, and really paying it forward to the people I had in my life that kind of showed me a different life, because honestly, wouldn't have known that any of this or all of this was possible without the people 100%. In my life. So I really pay it forward to my mentors and father figures in my life for sure.
For sure. Man, y'all heard it here first on the Interview podcast. It's Lil Mac, Devin Holmes. We're in Miami right now, enjoying this weather, enjoying this nice little pool.
Yes, sir.
You know, y'all might have saw me at the beach. That might have been somebody else for that night if y'all saw me, but you know. But yeah, I'm appreciate you for getting on this interview. This is definitely a different interview, you know, different content for everybody to see. Something y'all can learn from. I would just say take y'all tips and write this down. Should have said that in the beginning, but just write everything down he said, then read back over, and then, you know, do your own research, though.
Yep.
But, yeah.
I appreciate you for having me,
my dog.
Always love, man.
My guy. And y'all know new episodes coming out on the Interview podcast channel on YouTube. A lot of new content and interviews on the way. as 2024 is about to come to an end. I'm saying it here now first because y'all gonna say it in October, like, dang, it's the end of the year. No, it's already August, you know? So yeah, I'm just glad we could wrap this up. Good to see you again, my brother.
Yeah.
Wish all well for you. Wish that you can get 1 million properties, you know?
Yes, sir. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Let's take over the world.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna see y'all again.